when this product get on, for the heavy-duty vehicles, you see the cylinders comes in array. So you could have maybe 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 cylinders at the back of the truck that has CNG, that's running on CNG. Small cylinders. And then they're all configured to supply the gas to the engine. So those cylinders come in different forms and shapes. Yeah.
Let's take a step back. You know, I was asking about it might lead to massive importation of the needed equipment at a time of scarce foreign, you know. At the Ministerial Mandate Performance Scorecard Review session in August, you said, and I quote, the use of gas automobiles would reduce poverty in Nigeria. How so?
Employment.
So?
It will generate employment. So I'll make it very simple for you.
Listen.
Right now, we don't have in-country capacity to convert vehicles. So there is paucity or that lack of technical competence. Now, by the time we come up with this drive and push to make sure that we convert vehicles in-country across the 6 geopolitical zones, we need to train personnel to be competent to do those conversions, because we need to have as much as several conversion centers in the country. So the equipment will be, of course, will be imported into the country, and which is why the Honourable Minister has approached the central bank and gotten a loan facility of 250 billion as part of stimulus package for the gas sector, particularly for the National Gas Expansion Program. Now, when this equipment come in, we're not looking to bringing in experts from overseas to do this. Already in country, there are investors and businesses that have this expertise. But again, what we need to do, because we need to deepen this, is to train Nigerians to be able to do this conversion in conversion base where these conversion centers will be located. So that is where you have somebody that is poor, doesn't have a job, you pick him up and then you train him, and then he becomes gainfully employed. That's addressing poverty.
Okay, Justice, you know, there are many legs to this this conversation, but
indeed,
maybe let's just focus on the cylinders. It's like it's the equivalent of your fuel tank, as it were. Now, do you have an idea of how many vehicles we have on Nigerian roads at the moment? Some years ago, we were told there was about 10 million.
Thereabout.
And that half of those vehicles could be found in and around the Lagos area. I don't know what the numbers are now. If you have an idea, you can also brief us. So, assuming you wanted to convert a fraction of those vehicles to now be using auto gas, what are the issues that will pop up? One, do we have, let us assume you want to convert 500,000 or even 1 million vehicles to now have access to dual fuel advantages. Do we have access to 1 million cylinders?
Conversion kits.
To retrofit, or we're going to have to import them? These are the kind of things that people will be thinking about. I'd just be wondering.
Interesting, very good question. Now, in country, we have over 1 million conversion kits.
We have what?
Over 1 million conversion kits for vehicles. We've done the inventory. We've had discussions with the investors that have them across the 6 geopolitical zones. And we've had engagement with them to say, how can you spread this across the country? Because most of them have their catchment area and their footprints to make sure that they have these conversion kits in those locations. So we have over 1 million that we can address comfortably in Q4 2020. Now, there are other fuel stations and conversion centers that are upgrading their facilities to make sure that they meet up with this demand, because for them it's business, big business. And in this country, we have state-of-the-art training centers that can train Nigerians to be very, very good in terms of conversion. And then the issue about standards, quality control and quality assurance come into play, which is where the Standard Organization of Nigeria and the Department of Petroleum Resources come into play to make sure that every vehicle that is converted meets up with international standards and best practice, which of course will allay the fears of Nigerians. So the conversion kits are in country, they're there. Matter of fact, some of them, immediately the airports were open, have started receiving their products from overseas. Because we started doing this during the lockdown. So the engagement discussions were still ongoing. While people were in lockdown, the Honourable Minister was just whooping us around to make sure that we get this in right, and that is what we're doing. So we have conversion kits in this country that can convert up to 1 million vehicles in country. And the Honourable Minister, during our performance review, handed his vehicles to the National Gas Expansion Program to convert his vehicles and even his generators to run on gas. That's demonstration of leadership. We're doing the same with Aso Villa to make sure that we power Aso Villa with compressed natural gas. The NNPC having conversations with the OEMs to make sure that they do the same thing. And the minister has mandated, said, now that I've given my vehicle to demonstrate that, others should equally follow suit.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Justice. We hear our Zoom network is ready. We have Colonel Osigwe, Head Corporate Communications, Innocent Motors. You're welcome to Good Morning Nigeria.
You're welcome, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, you've been listening to our conversation talking about auto gas and acceptability in Nigeria. Let's look at you, as Innocent Motors, you've been manufacturing, different type of cars in Nigeria. Let's look at you from the private sector. How will you be able to key into this 2020 year of gas policy for Nigeria? We seem to have lost the... Okay, it's back.
No, Innocent Vehicle is a vehicle manufacturing company. And we have studied the auto gas scheme, and it's not something that is new. It's something that is that's been happening in some of the Western communities, in Europe, in America. So it's not something that is new to us. So at Innocent Vehicles, we are ready to key into the FG scheme on auto gas, on producing convertible engine options for those that want to use gas and those that want to use the LPG.